Community. That's a word we've heard come up time and time again as we've followed the Kiely Rodni case. Community. Now, we all live in places that we can call communities. However, that word community doesn't always mean the same thing. We also don't usually see the term used like we've seen it used in the interviews surrounding Kiely's case. Seems that no matter what question is asked or what statement is made, it always seems to revolve around community. It always returns to the word community. The question we need to ask is there something more here than meets the eye? More than just some people living in a town or an area as we normally use the word community. Truckee, California, is known as an intentional community. Now, what is an intentional community? If you just do a basic Google search for intentional community, this is the definition you find. An intentional community is a group of people who have chosen to live together with a common purpose, working cooperatively to create a lifestyle that reflects their shared core values. All right, so right from there, you know that a community, what they practice is going to depend on what their shared core values are. Since Truckee is an intentional community, also known as a commune, and also described as a utopian neighborhood or utopian community, we're seeing businesses and organizations with the commune mindset migrating into the Truckee area. I just did some simple searches, and one such group that I found is a business called Gravity Haus. That's Haus. And by the way, I'm going to post all of these links, everything that I mentioned in this video, I'm going to be posting links to in the description, so you don't have to just take my word for it or believe that I took something out of context. You can read it for yourself. So this Gravity Haus is this organization developing community in a different lifestyle and just like that. Now, if you look on Gravity Haus's webpage and on their statement on why they're moving into Truckee, this is what they say. They say, feedback from our members and guests made it clear the Truckee location would be an ideal property and community to expand beyond Colorado. I wonder why that is. They say not only is Gravity Haus reinventing how people live, okay, reinventing? We've been on this planet for thousands of years, and we're just now reinventing how people live. Okay, so not only is Gravity Haus reinventing how people live and work, enabling an active and healthy lifestyle, we are defining a new model of hospitality based upon inclusivity, community, and conscious consumerism. A lot of big words there. All right, they say this on another part of their site. They say Gravity Haus connects people who see the world as an incredible playground. We help the planet. Okay. Okay, I'm not understanding how this is helping the planet, but that's what they say. We help the planet by traveling. Okay, so increasing more footwork upon the planet, that's going to help. Recreating and growing with others and learning along the way. Oh, and that sounds sweet. We believe if we're enhancing your active lifestyle, one experience at a time, we're doing it right. Or then we're doing it right. Now, community first. Everything else will follow. I guess my only question would be, what is the everything else? Community first. Yep. Alrighty. They also link to another website, which is IC.org, which IC is the Foundation for Intentional Community. All right, they have a bunch of courses on their website about intentional communities and how to organize them, how to run them, how to do all this different stuff. Got bunches and bunches of courses on that. And by the way, these courses are not cheap. Most of them are $299 and up. They better be pretty good for $300 a piece. Video for $300 or course for $300. I don't know how many videos it is. I guess maybe more than one video, but eh. Now, when you go to their main page, they have a video promo up in the right corner. Now, I challenge you to watch that video and look at some of the shots in the video and tell me that doesn't remind you of what's going on in the background of Lindsay's celebration speech. Again, this is linked in the description. It's also interesting to look at their mission statement. Now, the highlighted portions were already there. I didn't add them. The statement says, we value family, playfulness, warmth, and shared joy in our common humanity. We are people-oriented. We intentionally build community and organize and design our physical space to support and enhance people's lives. We are stewards of our environment, aspiring to make a positive impact on our physical surroundings. We are civic and social leaders aiming to positively impact our town, region, country, and the world. All right, now, notice that statement. We are civic and social leaders aiming to positively impact our town, region, country, and the world. Okay, so that sounds nice on the surface, but what they're saying, in other words, you have these community activists, as I see them, coming into towns and attempting to take over the political reins of the area. That's basically what they're saying. I mean, I've personally seen that taking place. I mean, when I was living in Montana, we would see these flocks of, I'm sorry if you're from California, but most of them are Californians, they'd move into the area. Instead of us enjoying the area as it was, they always attempted to change it and complained about everything being different. Well, in California, you could do this. In California, you could do that. And blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, then move the hell back there. In fact, it got so bad that the city of Missoula had actually put out a brochure, what to expect if you live close to a dairy. Hello. Yeah, if you live close to a dairy and they have a bunch of cows, there's a good chance you just might smell cow poop. You think? Now, while intentional communities are not cults, many cult experts say that while they may start out as just communities, there's the possibility that they can start showing cult-like behavior and tendencies. One of the experts in an article I got, and like all this stuff is online there that I'm gonna post. He said members of cults and cult-like groups, which he described as self-sealing systems. That's an interesting term, isn't it? Self-sealing systems are often afraid to speak out against the group's beliefs and make decisions they know will keep them in good standing with the group's leader. So in other words, instead of doing what's right, you got to make sure you stay in good standing within the group. And we all know that a lot of the attitudes and statements made by many of the people involved make no sense to the rest of us. There's an article from Rolling Stone, of all places, called Cult or Commune, How Utopian Communities Turn Dangerous. And that's worth reading. Again, I'll post that in the description. There's another website. It's called intheknow.com. And it's another article that I'll post the link. It explains how even communities with good intentions can turn into a cult. It's worth reading. One quote from the article states this. It says, communes provide resources for people looking to find communes. Well, duh. And warn that you should instead call them intentional communities, artist refuges, and community living situations. That's kind of like we used to have a garbage man, and now they're a sanitation engineer. All right, not putting that down, just saying, we have to, beautify everything, or however you want to put it. All right, yeah, but yeah, of course, let's generate some new terms and mask what it really is. Another says that a commune, in parentheses, a cult, can appeal to someone who views themselves as a free spirit who is in search of other free spirits who does not like being constrained to the social rules of society. All right. Another quote says, "Nobody joins a cult. You join an organization you think is going to change the world because you like what they're doing. It's possible to get involved in a group that slowly changes over time. That's the history of almost every cult." And for those of you who grew up in the same time period as me and remember Charles Manson and Jim Jones and David Koresh and all these other cults that started up, they all started out as communities. They didn't start out as cults. And then one guy got to the forefront, became the leader, everybody started listening to him. We all got brainwashed, and we all know what happened with all of those. There's another quote that says, "Genuine communes have a list of requirements, and not everyone gets accepted." When I saw that, I thought of one of the messages that I got from one of my viewers, and I want to read that for you because I think that every one of you will find this extremely interesting. And I'm going to read it just like he wrote it. All right. He says, "Very weird area. Been there a bunch in Tahoe. Locals, Truckee are some good people, but many are very shady and don't like people in their business." Yeah. "We had to have emergency Airbnb because our Tahoe rental wasn't ready. The entire street wanted to know why we were there and who we were. And they were very mad. We were there for 12 hours, LOL. Kind of like they were mad AWP found her car and a body. Strange area. Cop or sheriff we dealt with was shady as hell. Who calls sheriff when someone stays in a legal Airbnb for 12 hours before going rafting because our Tahoe house rental wasn't ready? Very strange. Even owner of Tahoe rental said stay inside, don't bug locals. WTF is that?" Whew! Can you imagine such a thing? Have you ever visited anywhere where the people were suspicious of you being there? I mean, especially in a tourist area such as this. I also find it interesting that he mentions having a raft. Could it be that they were suspecting they were there to search for Kiely or Kiely's belongings? Or other evidence? Just depending what, I don't know if this was before or after Kiely was found. But either way, how many red flags does that raise for you? It almost makes my hair stand up on end. That is, if I had hair, I might stand up. But, considering he was staying in an Airbnb, why were they so suspicious? Also, why did the owner tell him to stay inside and not bother the locals? What? My experience in tourist areas is that locals love to meet new people, welcome visitors. They're usually very friendly. This is indeed a very strange, secretive area. It almost seems more like a secret society than just a close-knit community. Another interesting quote from that same article says, "Cults rely on relationships to be effective. These powerful relationships temporarily suspend critical thinking because cult leaders attack the pillars our lives are built on until they are the only trusted source people have. Facts don't matter when you're getting your information from a trusted friend." Facts don't matter. You know what we're seeing in this case? Praising and hugging people who should be drugging for questioning, in my opinion. And then vindictiveness towards those who actually helped. It's a completely twisted and unnatural way of thinking, if you ask me. I find it interesting that almost every picture I look at of people in these intentional communities, They look like they came straight from the 70s. I mean, since I lived through that area, it's like almost like reliving Woodstock all over again. This picture here is from the Contact Us page of Lost Trail Lodge, where I know that Kiely's family lives there. I think they might run it. I don't know for sure. I haven't really delved that far into it. But hey, welcome to the 70s. This is our version of Back to the Future. There's another article I found speaking on intentional communities. And in the article, the interview is speaking with several people, including one couple who left the community. And this is from CNN, which I'll also post. And speaking about that couple that walked away from the community, it says the couple explains they walked away when their desire to have a child together was met by some with outright condemnation. Because every new mouth means a further spreading out of resources and midwife costs come out of the community kitty, would-be parents are required to get a green light. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Can you believe that? I mean, that sounds like communist China, where you have to get their permission to have a child. I mean, the mentality of that is just beyond me. Yeah. Yeah, there ain't no way they'd be telling me if I could have a kid or not. Another thing I want to bring up, as we notice at the celebration of life, Lindsay is wearing a lei. What is the significance of the lei? It says, the lei is a symbol of the spirit of aloha, and any lei that is worn or brought to a funeral is a good choice for saying goodbye and showing respect to the deceased. A beautiful funeral lei allows you to bid your condolences, show respect, and say goodbye to the person who has departed. Nothing wrong with that. But this practice of wearing a lei at a funeral stems from Hawaii. And the only reason I bring this up is because I know that other creators have mentioned the Hawaiian connection in some fashion with this case, but I really haven't looked into it, but I figured I'd mention it just in case they were interested. Fact is, we're seeing these communities pop up everywhere, especially in California, and particularly the Lake Tahoe region, as more people from the Bay Area sell their homes as it's getting too expensive there, and they move to the Truckee area. Sorry I had to stop there for a minute. My dog's quiet all day long until I go to do this, and then he decides that he needs to barf. So hopefully there's no outside noise because I got the door open now. But anyway, this little clip I got off of Google, it's kind of informative, I think. It says, what are the features of the community that represents intentional community? It says, the members of an intentional community typically hold a common social, political, religious, or spiritual vision, often follow an alternative lifestyle, and typically share responsibilities and property. Intentional communities can be seen as social experiments or communal experiments. In other words, I guess they're social guinea pigs. Now, another interesting tidbit, and I think this is off that website, and I didn't mark down where I got this from, but it's in one of the links that I'm providing for you. So, but one of the groups who's building a new project, it has a project in the works in the Truckee area. They're building this communal area, and this is how they advertise their land. Okay, it says property type, co-housing, individual homes within group property. Location, small town or village. Now notice you don't own your own land, it's group property. Now the next portion of it says housing, status, we have land in the permitting or zoning stage. They're in the process of building it on 2 acres. 36 residences on 2 acres. Yeah, boy, that's going to be community, all right. All right, planned residence types, multifamily homes. You can purchase or rent. Now, here's the thing. Here's the kicker right here. It says land owned by the entire community membership. Okay, so you can purchase a home, but the land is owned by the entire community. I don't like that. I don't like that setup at all. Owned by the entire community membership. So you think having to deal with the homeowners association is bad? Imagine this. I've even read some articles when I'm doing this research where some of these intentional communities even regulate how you dress. A lot of them, you have to dress like a hippie. Imagine that. I wouldn't do well on one of these at all. I'd tell them to go kick rocks. Take a hike, buddy. Get out of town. At any rate, I thought I'd just share some of my thoughts on this community thing in hopes it might help us understand better what we're seeing and why things might be done in the fashion in which we've been seeing them done. So let me know what your thoughts are on this. I mean, the plot just keeps getting thicker as we go along, doesn't it? I'll just be glad when all this is over and done with and the people responsible are brought to justice. Take care, all.